Good morning and welcome to the Red Mic. Hope everybody's doing okay today. I'm so glad you're here. I really am. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: be like Bob Seger, turn the page, or just don't listen. Change the channel. Move on. What am I talking about? Well, today, October 30th, is my wife's birthday. Had to get that out of the way before I get to the Red Mic message. Happy birthday, Carrie. I love you very much. All right. October 30th, 1938. There was a radio adaptation of The War of the Worlds, the H.G. Wells novel. It was by Orson Welles. They did the entire thing like it was a breaking news report, you know, like it was a real event. I mean, they even had commercials running during the thing, you know, because that's what people would have heard on the radio, right? Even in breaking news, they would still drop in and say, hey, this message, this program is brought to you by whatever. A lot of people tuned in mid broadcast, so they missed the disclaimer at the very beginning that everything that they heard was fictional. I mean, there were realistic sound effects and an urgent tone of voice, and thousands of people listening to that broadcast were convinced that Martians were invading Earth, specifically in New Jersey, and they were frightened to death. I mean, panic spread. People fled their homes, phone lines were jammed. Uh, some people started going and gathering supplies, thinking that an actual alien attack was really happening live on the radio. Back then, radio was relatively new. People trusted it as their main source of news, and it sounded like a real news report. I mean, give Orson Welles credit, man. He he knocked it out of the park. I mean, it you would not have known unless you heard the disclaimer at the beginning that it wasn't real. Radio, other than actual scripted shows, yeah, Fibber McGee and Molly, and all of that. Yeah, they were used to hearing drama and even comedy on the radio, but this was different. It was done as if it was really happening, and it freaked people out. They had no reason to think it was fake, so a lot of people thought it was real, and they got really scared. Let's fast forward to today. The situation with media is different. People don't trust the media completely like they did in 1938. There's multiple sources of news. There's 24-hour news. I mean, it's a 24-hour news cycle. You can't rest even a little bit. If you are a news maker, or you are in a position where the news can hurt you or help you, you can't rest. You've got to be ready. It's the quick results, quick reactions, right? But then you've also got all these different channels. You've got all these different social media outlets. And let's face it, they all have their own bent. Some are very obvious, propaganda. Some are subtle. Um, but they often will tell the same story. Sorry, I'm tired. Uh, Sorry. They will often tell the same story in completely different ways. That's why, you know, uh, a particular story might be completely presented as fact on one channel, and on another channel they say, well, wait a minute, not so fast. You got to have a little bit of context. You didn't hear the quotes immediately before and after they said that. So it was clear that they were exaggerating for effect, or it was clear they were trying to make a comparison and a contrast. Um, People get in their silos. They hear what they want to hear. And there's far too many channels out there that take advantage of that. I'm not going to go so far as to say that they stoke it, but this has led to a lot of division. I mean, that's why at the very top of all of my pages that talk about the red mic, I point out that the mic is actually red. It's not metaphorical. I don't do politics, not on this channel. I just don't. Why alienate half of an audience when I'm trying to reach everybody with these kind of messages, right? So you've got some people that believe everything that the mainstream media puts out. You've got some people that don't believe any of what the mainstream media puts out. You've got the trusting folks, and then you've got the folks that are completely skeptical of everything. This division creates an interesting and unique problem. In 1938, the War of the Worlds could bring everybody who listened to it together with a shared experience. I swear I thought I turned my volume off. I really do. Today, with people being split into different groups with different beliefs about what is and what isn't true, it makes it harder for people to agree on facts, which complicates how people work together and respond to new events, right? So, how does that relate to you? Well, you need to question sensational stories, even when they seem credible. It's easy for realistic details and presentation differences to create a really convincing narrative. In 1938, all they had to do was change the channel, right? It was the only channel, obviously, that had a Martian invasion going on. So look deeper. Try to separate fact from fiction. Consider multiple viewpoints, multiple sources. Um, if you know that one broadcast is probably really far left and one is really far right and one is more towards the middle, maybe take a little bit more time and see how each one of them presents that particular story of the day. If they're all saying close to the same thing, you know it's probably legit. If one is spinning it one way, one is spinning the other way, and the one in the middle is acting like it doesn't have any idea what's going on. Scott Adams, you've heard me talk about him. He refers to the fog of war. What he means by that is during the battle, during the height of the engagement, you're going to get differing news reports coming in, different visions, different versions. And his whole concept there is take a minute, try to calm down. The real news eventually will come out. So give it some time. Take a breath. Check for those different perspectives. Try to build a full picture of what the truth actually is. And trust your critical thinking skills. Far too often we will go into something with a preconceived notion, and when people echo that back to us, we're like, oh yeah, don't buy your own hype. Don't buy into the narrative just because it's what you want to hear. And also, similarly, don't fall prey to the gaslighting. Now, if you know what gaslighting actually refers to, there was a play where the gas lights kept being turned down, dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And the antagonist acted like nothing was wrong at all. So, of course, the person who literally saw the lights going dim thought that they were going crazy. Same sort of thing. If something's presented as true over and over and over and over again, the tendency is to believe it. But sometimes you might be falling victim to a complete fiction, just like people were back in 1938 by dear old Orson Welles. So trust your critical thinking skills. and do what they didn't do in 1938. Change the channel. Get another perspective. That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you'll be back again tomorrow. I appreciate you being here as always. I'll see you again tomorrow. Again, if you know my wife, tell her happy birthday. Heck, if you don't know my wife, wish her happy birthday in the comments. She reads every comment. I do too. But so happy birthday, Carrie. Love you very much. Uh, I will see all of you guys again tomorrow on Halloween. Enjoy today. Go out and knock the cover off the ball. And hey, congrats to the New York Yankees. They avoided the sweep. I'm still rooting for the Dodgers. Yes, I am. Hate the Yankees like poison. That's because I'm a long Rangers fan. And, you know, the Rangers have always had trouble beating the Yankees. So, again, congrats to the Yankees last night. But I'm thinking 4-1 is going to be a good end to this series. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon.